Welcome to my channel. My name is Meredith Mynrose. I'm a universal healer and a peace visionary, and today I'll be doing a astrology message for the sign of Libra. For Libra. But before that, I'm going to put some oils on me. Energy oils. This one is the toxic projection oil. It's a clear, it's without herbs. We're going to put 1, 2, 3. And we're going to put the extra oomph with one of the oils to clear this projection of desperation and shame. Because I'm a healer, a lot of unhealthy people, they tend to project their own issues onto me. So obviously this has nothing to do with the video, but I can just simply share this energy with you guys as well. I'm looking towards to making this oil available for those who have been a victim of slander and their reputations have been affected, because that's what I've been through over the past 2-3 years. And it took a long effort to get where I am today, to feel better. I'm almost as who I was before. Mental health, emotional health, physical health. So hopeful. Actually, my oils have been really helpful for me. And yeah. So sooner than later, I'll have these available on my website, in the shop site, or I might even put it on my Etsy. We'll see. So I hope all of you Libras are doing well. I think last month's Libra message was about slander, reputation. So I think consciously, unconsciously, me using it for myself, and at the same time sharing some of this oil with you, toxic projection, and well, no, this is energy vampire zap. Oh wait, I should put energy vampire zap. And this is the like desperate agenda and shame projection. So before we even get into the reading, we already started with this energy healing bit. I really need to make my hand less oily because I need to hold the tarot cards. So it might take a while. I'm like wiping it all over. And I'll be having new bracelets. If you guys don't know, I make bracelets. I can read your chakra and make a custom bracelet for you. If you're also interested in that, you can contact me, or just wait until I put up the prices and all the other already made bracelets, which I really want to like show to you, but my hand's oily. So it takes a while for all the oils to absorb into the palm, the wrist, the back of the palm. And sometimes I just like shortcut and like rub it on my clothes a little bit. Yep. Okay, so everybody, are you guys ready for your reading, Libra? So we actually used 3 oils for this universal astrology message for the sign of Libra. If you resonate to the sign of Libra, we use toxic projection, desperate agenda, and shame. Because some people who's desperate and shameful, they try to project that to you, and unconsciously you may even pick it up, and you intuitively know like, this isn't me, why am I behaving like this? Because you were oppressed by somebody who's in denial of their circumstances in their life. So, and then this is the energy zap oil. The energy zap oil has the amaranth flower, and that is like to kind of like reject either spirits that are in physical body and evil spirits that are in spirit form. So both types of energy vampire, whether dead or alive or in between worlds, they get rejected, they get zapped, and they cannot take your life force. So, shuffling this card. Let's see what the universe has to tell you for the month of June for the sign of Libra, wherever Libra placement you have in your. Okay, one just popped out. It's Ace of Sword. Ace of Sword. Ace of Sword. Okay. So. Oops. Okay, Libra. The first card you had was Ace of Swords. It kind of like flipped out on its own. Oh, the second card is the World, but it's a bit reversed. But it's still good though. Oh, this card is like 5 Pentacles. Then we have Knight of Wands reversed. We got 8 Wands, which is good for progress. 5, 6, Page of Swords, and 5 of Swords. So it looks like it's been an incremental battle. It's been like it's been a slow struggle to fight, but there's progress. It really sums up what I just said about stuff in the beginning, about myself though. So, Sword of Page of Sword, Page of Sword, and the 5 of Sword. So it seems that you're going to be able to really set things right on course. We're gonna pull out the Unicorn card and see what the Unicorn have to say about the supporting message of this tarot deck, tarot spread. Ace of Swords and the World. So your world was kind of murdered. Your world tipped over by the sword that you used to hold, and you went through a financial misfortune in the past, and then that look is like I did that. Knight of Wands in reverse is that it was hard for you to fight. It's hard for you to take action to defend yourself. But slowly and surely you've managed to regather your strength and energy and put some progress. It's like, for example, your organic energy was the Ace of Swords, because Libra is the energy of justice. Libra is the energy of fairness. Libra is the energy of equality, understanding both sides of the view. But someone has slandered you or hurt you in a way that they shun you from speaking of the truth. They shun you from exposing them. But right now, it's not them in the spotlight of your life, because you going through what you went through, even though it's harsh, it's awful, it's upsetting, it's agonizing, it showed you, it's like life is an array of stories that you experience. In these circumstances where you experience this array of story, you've learned something along the way of losing your fortune or having your world turned upside down and not being able to fight for the right things, for the right causes, for the right reasons. And you had to like stumble down and fall down and pick up the pace and pick up the pieces and pick up the wands, and literally, like, you know, that like a javelin, you kind of like start barricading your energy, barricading your boundaries, and your downfall was actually creating a path for your future. And what I said is so amazing. Your downfall is what created the path for your future. So you have to come into a liberating peace and awareness that every single sadness, every single battle, every single misfortune, every single, like, if there is there such thing as coincidence? Is there such thing as a negative serendipity? Well, maybe the path that you have struggled to live, to fight, to survive, it kind of like made your energy to become more grounded and authentic, because when push comes to shove, when people put you in a situation where you have to choose superficial means or integrity and moral values, you understand that I'm going to be on the right side of the world. I'm going to be defending justice, because even through, like, your moral values and integrity did not get shaken, even when you were poor, even when you lost your fortune, even when you lost your friends and support system. Your moral values, your integrity, your life principle did not get violated by the life circumstances pushing you down to change your moral values. Some of you who have gone through intense life turmoil, you might become a thief or a robber just to like get money, correct? But you didn't. And some of you may cheat people, and you didn't. Instead, you kind of like go with the flow and like struggle, and maybe you might even you were forced to be so destitute or desperate that you had to choose what to do in order to keep your house, and you just let go and let God, and you didn't do anything to harm others, and instead you may have been forced to be evicted or to be homeless or to be misplaced in this world, and you are like, what the heck is going on? What's happening? Where the fuck am I supposed to go now? And in that certain space of your wonder and doubt and isolation and feeling of unsupported and loneliness, you were found to listen, to build faith, to choose whether you want to embody fear and anger or sadness, or you're just going to accept that there will be light in the end, that there will be some sort of hope that would prolong your ability to keep believing that there is good in the world, because your part, the universe is forming you as a very strong part, a strong essence, a human essence that is strong, that makes you even a believer of doing good in the world. Like, even if people do harm to you, you're gonna say, well, this reflects their behavior. This doesn't change me to influence me to be evil. This doesn't change me to influence me to be a person who take advantage of others. This doesn't influence me to change my moral values or honor code or principles. I am not a person without a backbone. I'm not a person without a spine. I'm not a person without a moral ground and honor standpoint in life. So a lot of what you struggled with was to build a more metal proof or some shock proof, or a very much situation where your moral values cannot be bribed or cannot be what's the word? Cannot be bribed, cannot be influenced to go against the moral good of all. The moral good of the earth, the moral good of society, the moral good of your own vision of justice and fairness and balance. I don't know, maybe I'm speaking for some of the Libras out there, and some of you may be on the other scale because you might have been influenced by evil. You might have lost your moral compass. You might have been forced to become the opposite of who you are, because there's always a Libra who is a pure Libra, and there's always a Libra that totally lost his or her plot of life, and there's a Libra that is extremely a do-gooder, that they need to have more shadows, and then some Libra who are like on the extreme scale of, on the most shadow, most darkest scale, are like the most opposite of its natural sign. So they might be against their natural order. So they are the most unfairest Libra, the most corrupt Libra. So there might be some of them. So I'm just saying, like, from my point of view, those who have suffered, who struggle, and who have been taken advantage of, you guys are, it's shown here that your slow progress is progress. Like, you know, when there's something like snail mail, so you're that slow. You know, when something takes too long to bloom, but then when it blooms, it becomes so beautiful. You're that Libra. You are that. And you become quite powerful because of your energy that is very grounded and very, can I say, slightly visionary. You speak the truth and you shed the lies away from the truth, and people don't just hear or see what you say, they feel it. They feel the truth in your soul, speaking from the voice, explaining or pointing out the obvious fact that is aligned with the center of the universe as true core truth that people cannot ignore. People cannot ignore what you're saying. And it's like you're actually saying the sky is up, it's 7 a.m. It's sunrise. But a lot of people are thinking it's sunset. And you're the only one who realizes that it's actually sunrise, it's not sunset. So you're like this whistleblower who tells people something that they've been so blindsided by, and the world is going to celebrate you for it, because or else they would have fallen down a very dark road where it's going to be hard for them to come back and recover from it. Okay, so let me just finally finish this unicorn spread. Passion, fire energy, Libra. Partnership. And beloved, prepare for your life partner. Romance is returning to your relationship. Believe you are lovable. Partners. Ooh, we have partner and beloved, and then like love is coming to you. And then we have passion. Oh, so this is a romantic message for all of you. This is my first romantic message for all the sun or all the signs. From all the signs, this is the first time that love and romance is coming up. So first you have passion. So I thought it might be to your career, but actually, then we have partnership, and I'm like, I thought it will be your business. but then it's beloved. So believe that you are lovable, and believe that romance is returning to your relationship. Romance is returning to your relationship. What is the next deck that I have to pull out? Is it dragon? So maybe through all the course of your struggle, you may have felt like, oh, I'm never gonna have anyone loving me because I have too much of a life issue, life drama to handle, and probably I won't have like some sort of time to deal with love. But actually, you deserve love. You definitely deserve love. Where's my divine love one? It's not here. Let me see if I have a receive love oil. I think I got it. It's almost out. Oops, sorry guys. I put it in my coffee can. I reuse my coffee can to put all the oils. I can fit like 7 oils in there. So far, I have to do another one for repelling perverse lust individuals. Like if anyone who have survived like abuse, especially sexual ones, and then they attracted a lot of perverts. I wanted to do an oil for that. Because I'm making oil, everything to do with my past experiences. But it works for me, so that's why I keep using it. It works for me because I made other oils as well with different labels. This is the Sapphire Phoenix Mercury Rising. This is the Venus Star Child oil. This is the Rose Fire Emblem. The one that I really love is Heart Sutra. Oh, this one. But then there's no more. I think there's like few drops left of this, and then it's no more. So as soon as I kind of like get back a lot of the essential oils, like order some essential oils, and like keep ordering in small batches, you know, because essential oils are pricey. But it can be done. I can make Heart Sutra again. Heart Sutra is like so soft that you can use it on babies. It's so soft. I love Heart Sutra. Okay, so let's get back to this reading, the dragon reading. Where is Air and Water Dragon helps you to connect to higher frequencies, trust your intuition, develop your psychic abilities, be open to enlightenment, and express your inner song. And then Golden Christ, that dragon brings you higher love so that you embody the Christ light, absorb the Christ light, you are protected, expand your heart, and remain fifth dimensional. Oh, last one. Alpha Dragon, harness the divine masculine power of creation, destroy the old. Destroy the old. Visualize your dream, help to manifest a new world. I think you're manifesting a new world by your core ability to bring justice to the present moment. Just the energy of being just the energy of justice. So let me tell you something. When I was 17, I really resonated to the idea and the form of justice. Then I had like a pendant that I got from a trip to Singapore, where it's like, you know, the balance and the scale. So it was like that small, but it was what I keep with me. So it's like, if you can just resonate to the symbol of the scales and balance, know that the world is fair. Even like, you see Hitler, the tyrant, people go against him. he might have power to a certain point of time, but people who go against him wins. And as you can see, like there's some form of a Nazi Hitler, which is Trump. People are against him. British people are against him. Some Americans, I don't know how much, but they have been vocal about being against him. A lot of what Trump is doing is something like Nazi Hitler. He's starting raging these views that is unjust. And this is where Libra, in small ways, as above so below, right? In small ways, you're gonna ground a just energy in where you stand. Is it fair? Is there harmony where you are at? Is it fair where you are at? Since that life has been unfair, it's prepared you to speak up about something. It's prepared you to carry some really important decision, action, voice, air element here to connect to your, oh, this really matches, hey. Air and water dragon. Trust your intuition, be open to enlightenment, express your inner song. So like, express your inner song. Your power is in your song. Your power is in your voice. Your power is in the seed of your most deepest passion, most desire to see where there must be some form of justice. Okay, keep on having to do that because it keeps falling. Okay, so we're going to have 2 more decks. This is the second last deck. Masculine energy, definitely I see a very feminine and masculine energy in here. It's like you are feminine enough that you're compassionate, while you are masculine enough that you set the standard, you set where there needs to be a fence, a boundary, and a wall. And you set where it needs to be, where there needs to be some form of like a, can I say that, holy fire wall, like this shield of protective, so that vulnerable people no longer gets unfair treatment. And you're going to be doing that through your slow progress. It's like there's some form of benefit from you rising slowly, taking the time to rise slow. Like, you know, when your beautiful spark of white, beautiful divine light have been attacked, shattered, ambushed, like put out and forced to never lit again, and then you've struggled to have that inspiration or passion or spark because you were attacked in many different angles, like your finances were attacked, your family attacks, and then your support system attacks you. It's like you were kind of like left to have your spiritual light die, but you struggle, and at times you don't know how you're going to get through it, but you had to choose whether you want to convert into an evil and be a bad Libra, or you want to convert into like, it is a struggle, it is hard, and you're like, in a way you kind of like accept there is a shadow version of life, and at the same time you're learning that, but I can still choose to connect to a little bit more hope today, a little bit more faith today, a little bit more wishful thinking, even if it sounds dumb, even if it sounds like it's never gonna happen, even if all your hopes, faith is lost. You're gonna like, maybe I should not give up on daydreaming and wishful thinking, because you know, some ideas come from wishful thinking and some ideas come from daydreams, and you still have that ability to dream of good things happening, of justice happening, of fairness in the present moment. So I'm so tired of pulling this up. It don't look too good with this, with it like that. So the golden Christed dragon says, brings you higher love so that you can embody the Christ light. You are protected. Expand your heart and remain fifth dimensional. So somehow, while your world is burning, while your physical world was burning, your fifth dimensional world, the world where your values are created, your beliefs are created, your principles are created, your personal power is created, your personal vision is created, your personal knowledge is created, and your personal voice is created. I can see it now, that despite you going through so much of this ordeal, trauma, I think this reverse world is that a lot of energy was put in building a fifth dimensional world in your subconscious, that you're actually bringing, you're the harbinger, or like the bringer, the bridge connector that is bringing a new earth. You're bringing a new earth. I'm starting to understand why I have a yacht in my astrology. It feels like I really personally understand each one of your signs. It's like as if people with the yacht sign, the kite, in their astrology, is like they need to master different signs, like all the 12 signs, because I relate to every single sign in astrology. Because talking to you guys and doing this reading, I speak from what I understand from my experience, and I was able to like show you some wise or wisdom perspective to point out that, you know, there's always a silver gold lining. Like people say there's a silver lining, that I'm like, no, you know, if you really learn the lesson, if you really see what I see, it's a gold lining among all the freaking darkness. You guys can see the thread of divine love around your trauma, around your suffering and grief. And as I mentioned, your downfall was creating your future path, which is towards the light. Ooh. Okay, so, and if you think about, if there's romance, there is gonna be romance, or like, you know, some sort of like a loving something coming into your life. It could be loving friends, it could be loving business partner, it could be loving activist people together, people with the same passion coming together. So even if it's not a romantic way, it could be passion, interest, hobby style way. Okay, time for a nap. What? I've been working so much that I did not have enough sleep for the past 5 days. Milk and honey and yang. So create. Yang is create. Milk and honey. Milk and honey is that you're gonna get. Did you get this card last month? I'm not too sure, but maybe did you? Rest and believe everything is provided. Oh, that's nice. I'm gonna like, if there's such thing as tattooing something, I have to like, because one thing that I learned over the past month is that when you relax, it's easier to manifest. It's easier to create when you're at ease and relaxed. For the past few days, like, oh no, I was a bit stressed because I was like a lot of things to do, and I have to like learn to, because I'm still recuperating from a lot, so my energy quota a day, I'm trying to like increase my energy that I can like serve, and I can do videos, and I can like do other things per day. So far I had one successful day where I'm like, yeah, I feel so productive. And that's how I felt like 10 years ago when I was doing so many random things that for my bazaars, for my market, learning a new craft and things like that. So I think for you guys, right, rest. If you're tired, rest. Rest, the life will provide to you. Sometimes it's more about letting your soul hibernate, not always doing something energetically. Is that a personal message from my angels to me? Darn. Okay. I think I haven't stopped like doing energy work since like 2013 or 2014. Oh man, I'm gonna cry with you, Libra. I think that you guys are energy workers too. We haven't stopped subconsciously working our soul's ass off. So I think this is a good way to say, rest your soul. Not that you're dying, but let your soul rest. It's safe for your soul to rest, and it's safe to manifest a new world, because you're not alone in this. We are all together in the 5 dimension. We're all with all these other higher elemental galactical beings, if you believe in that sort of stuff, that there's a higher power that is beyond what we understand as religion, what we understand as spirituality. There's a divine power out there that is lassoing our humanity, earth planet consciousness into a divine evolution, that our human race mind has somewhere to reach as a journey. And all the things, all the darkness, all the shadow, all the evil that we see is to spark people like us to step into the power and speak up and say, hey, you can have a feminine compassion while you teach people who are driven by ego, and you can have a firm masculine power to set a different tone, to change the direction of where humanity in your social circle, in your city, in your country, in your community, in your society, you can control the direction of the human nature rather than leading down to the path of darkness, like breeding out racism or bigotry or different levels of separation. And you know, who says, is it Napoleon Bonaparte, the guy who says like divide and conquer or something, you know, war. So it's easier to control humans when we divide and conquer humans by racism, by religion, by faith, by sexual orientation. But there's a different five-dimensional beings that are like, peace is accepting who you are, who others are. The only person you can control is yourself. Why are you so bent hell trying to control other people, right? And a lot of people who wants to control other people is that they're only projecting their own lack of wisdom. So a lot of leaders in this world lacks wisdom, and that's why they try to separate, segregate, and like try to diffuse tension, not diffuse tension, create tension among people. So time for a nap, milk and honey, and yang. Relax and know that you can create while you're relaxed. That's a nice one for that I resonate to as well. Okay. So last three cards. DownFall. Last three cards. If you actually want a personal psychic reading, you can go and visit my website for your own reading. Or if you have an issue that you think a universal healing session might benefit you, I won't use the cards in the session, but I'll use my other abilities and skills to help you resolve an issue or guide you in that issue. Are we done? Are we done? Are we done? Is that three? So I'm stuck with this one right now because there's three cards there and one card there. So we're just going to open it all. Oh, I like it. The one that fell was released. Like the one that fell is release and new beginnings. Oh, I like it. And then there's two other cards here. Let's see what it is. Attraction and the masculine. Wow. Libra, your masculinity is being polished. You're going to learn and recognize boundaries. You're going to learn and discern and sense boundaries. You're going to really get this kind of like spark and jolt of knowledge of where there needs to be, excuse me, this is where you shouldn't be, or hello, that's not right, back off. So you're learning to actually initiate where people walk over your boundaries. And then there's supermoon attraction. I told you guys that you're going to manifest a new world. And here it is, there's this card where it says new beginning, new moon beginning, and then release. So you're being asked to release all the pain in the past by understanding that your downfall is creating a path for your future. Okay, so let me explain something about... I don't think I can explain to you in 5 minutes, but give me a different metaphor. Okay, so what you're most passionate about tends to be your life purpose, correct? And sometimes something unfair happens to you in your childhood that makes you so passionate. And you hold that feeling and you're like, this unjust thing happened to me when I was a kid. I feel so helpless and powerless, and I don't want it to happen to anyone else. So you become the voice of children that struggle being heard, healed, or validated for their pain and suffering from both of the parents that have hurt them. So then you became maybe a social warrior justice, or you became a teacher that focus on troubled kids, or you open a spiritual practice to do with inner child healing. So I just mentioned to you my passion, but you might have different passion. You might have passion for feeding the homeless, feeding hungry people, making sure that foods are not wasted, that companies have a social responsibility to not throw good foods and give them to somewhere who really needs it. Like, I think I heard somewhere in France, it's illegal to throw out foods. So before they get expired, give them away or something. I think I heard that. Or I read about it. So you're making this world fairer and more justice. So to the Libras, all of your pain, all of your suffering, all of your agony, and all of the grief, the struggles you go through is with a divine reason, purpose, and a divine cause. A Libra, you Libras, like, emotionally give yourself the compassion that you want to give to others first. Emotionally give yourself the softness and the understanding that you want to give to other broken bird wing people. You want to help people. You want to protect people. And you have to learn to protect and help yourself first by being gentle to yourself first, by being kind to yourself first, by loving yourself first, and by building the walls of boundaries of divine self-kindness, self-respect, self-esteem, self-worth. And by being powerful in the way you handle yourself, you're going to be powerful in the way you handle others. And that is a very strong message for you to take alert, to take notification, to put as a mental note, because you need to be on both toes, on both feet to go where you're going. So you need to know all the boundaries you need to know. You need to really understand your power before you try to give power to the powerless, or you try to take power from the powerful. You need to know your power. You need to know your purpose, your passion, your reason. So there's a lot of building your fifth dimensional world is the world where you can intuit your feelings, thoughts, impressions, values, worth, beliefs, and all the other things that became a vision. So in order for you to create a world, you have to have a clear vision of what world you want to birth into being. And from your presence, that can happen. And understand, if it's a slow growth, it has taken you a slow growth to come back into your central power, where you're learning to not let anyone dim your light. Even if they try to, you're going to keep sparking that light. And when they try to kind of like dim your light, they get burned, because you know your boundaries, you know your powerful fire, and you know your powerful fire can zap them, can diminish them, and can dissolve them into nothingness, that they cannot intrude, interrupt, or become an obstacle to your life path, to your passion, to your purpose, to your divine power mission, divine cause, and divine reason of your life, of your fate and destiny. So that's what I have for all of you Libra for today, for the month of June, the year 2019. I hope this message gave you some deep hope and deep meaning in how you're juggling your life currently, and where you can instill healthier boundaries and delve into a deeper version of your soul and really bring that powerful empathy and love into divine justice and birth a new world into being. So my name is Meredith Mynrose. I'm a universal healer and peace visionary. If you would like to work with me one-on-one, you're welcome to check my website for either a psychic reading or a universal healing session. I will see you for next month. Thank you. Leave a comment and let me know your thoughts on this reading. For now, sending my love. Take care and goodbye.